It is delightful to see you all in such a lively mood today, because I think if anyone's had a chance to look at the front pages of the Echo and the Journal, can see the North East is very much the place to be today, and I'm sure in the view of many of you here, the place to be all the year round. It's a great pleasure for me to be here again for the 5th North East Economic Forum, the second one I've had the pleasure of chairing. I think there could hardly be a more pertinent theme today than the one that has been selected, leading the way to a low carbon economy, because whether the scientists or indeed the politicians in Copenhagen can quite agree on the details of climate change, there's no doubt about it at all that the low carbon economy provides the opportunity, particularly in a place such as the North East, with the long history and strengths in energy technology and marine engineering, amongst other things, to plot a way ahead in these very difficult economic times. And throughout the day, I know that we're going to hear a great deal about the achievements in the North East so far, such things, of course, as Nissan deciding to locate its electric vehicle battery manufacturing facility here in Sunderland, the government's decision to designate this the National Low Carbon Economic Area for electric vehicles, the developments already on electric vehicles in the North East, companies engaged in low carbon vehicles, what's developments too in wind power, and possibly in the future in terms of a refuse proposal of refuse dealing with refuse as well. Also, the Round 3 development zone for offshore wind, which could be worth up to £100 billion. And if you want, in practical terms, to have a look at some of the developments so far, Tanfield have laid on a demonstration, a chance to view some electric cars in the car park at lunchtime. Now, as we all know, and as those headlines in the papers make clear, we are very much meeting at times of change. General election only weeks away. Seems like, as a political journalist, I've been saying that for about 2 years, but it really is true now, folks. And of course, the prospects of change there. We've come through a recession, but just how fast or how successfully are we coming out of it, if we're getting out of it at all? I think those will be a lot of the subtext of discussions today. And of course, the prospect, whatever the outcome of that general election, that we are going to see cuts in public spending. Quite how those will impact, and obviously a topic of great interest here, what will the impact of that be, of that election, and those cuts be on regional development agencies? Quite what do the other parties plan to do with them if they're successful in getting a share of power? And indeed, can regional development agencies replace some of the other more historic infrastructure which we have? There are also, I think, a lot of questions away from the political landscape and the impact of that sort of change on the region to do with how the North East is going to capitalise now on its world-leading position in some key markets, some key technologies, and how, in particular, the North East is going to exploit that low-carbon agenda. Now, it may not have escaped your attention that this meeting coincides with the decision of Gordon Brown to bring his regional cabinet to Durham. And of course, that is a great advantage for this forum, because it means we are going to have the chance to hear from a lot of people in the outgoing, and who knows, possibly the incoming government, including the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Ed Miliband, and Rosie Winterton, who'll be here helping to unfold the Cabinet Office's new Future Story initiative. And I'm sure you've all met by now the young people sitting on most of your tables who are involved with that initiative, and they'll be explaining that later on. We're also, I mean, you couldn't come to the North East and not do it. We're also going to hear from Nick Brown, the Chief Whip, and as well, bear in mind, of course, that the forum is non-partisan and all-partisan, contributions from Greg Clark from the Conservatives, Simon Hughes, and Sir Alan Beath for the Liberal Democrats, and a great many people involved in the local economy as well. So one thing I would say is, because to a certain extent we're boxing and coxing with people who have commitments at the Cabinet meeting. The programme may change at any moment, which is why they got someone like me to try and make sense of what's going on. So I ask for your patience on that. I'm delighted to say we're not expecting the Ramside, who we're very grateful to have us here, to have a fire alarm in the course of today's proceedings. So if the alarm does go off, it's the real thing. So please make your way to the exits, which are marked, as quickly as possible. And finally, a little request, please make sure that BlackBerries, pagers, iPhones, mobile phones and all the rest are at the very least on silent, as it can disrupt people and, if possible, switched off, although I know that's not possible in this high-tech economy for many people. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, who is a son of Sunderland and one of the leading figures in business around here. He's the chairman of Leighton, the North East-based technology software, media and communications group. He's a fellow of the Royal Society of Arts. He's a graduate, no less, of the LSE, Newcastle University, and the University of Salford, and he is the deputy chairman of One North East. Paul Callaghan.